Hello everybody and welcome to another exciting edition of Sid's Questions. And this is the portion or this is part of the show where you guys can stir the ship in any way, shape, or form. And I would also like to state that this video probably has been, probably will be, more most likely will be released after Clash of Champions, but I did a Clash of Champions predictions video with Patrick Porter on Porter's Unboxing with Gregor Kramer. So go check that video out and see if we were right about each match from Clash of Champions. But let's go ahead and get into the questions. The first two questions are asked by the same person, TN Couponer. And if you want to go save money, he's your guy to ask, or he's your guy to help you. TN Couponer's first question is, which show would you have Undisputed Era on, Raw or SmackDown? Now, I'm not sure if I said this on my channel or not, but I think I have. But I want to say it again. If you told me like a month or two ago, if you asked me this question like a month or two ago and I actually answered, I would have said the opposite show Retribution is on. And here's the reason why I would say that. Yeah, they would have to eventually compete at some point anyway, but you need the stories to kind of unfold a little bit. And plus, having two multi-man teams on, or having two factions on one brand is too many. So, but I also would have added that I think they would have been a better fit on SmackDown because Raw would have already had a four-man group that's very similar to the Undisputed Era and Evolution. So you had Ric Flair, Randy Orton, Batista, and Triple H. Very similar groups completely, so I would have had to put them on SmackDown either way. And with Retribution, I would put them on Raw, but I like to add, with Retribution, I think they should have, WWE should have had them keep their faces recovered until Survivor Series, and had, which I mentioned this in the predictions video, with Gregor Kramer and Patrick Porter, that they should had a 20-man tag team match at Survivor Series. Not a traditional 5-on-5, a 20-man. Well, taking a 40-man tag team match. 20 on each team. And I like to add, before I go any further, and have them go, Retribution should have went back and forth in between Raw and SmackDown until Survivor Series, and kept on SmackDown, on NXT. But going into the Survivor Series match, have 10 from Raw, 10 from SmackDown, team up to try to take out Retribution. Take out 20 guys. And of course, having a stipulation on there, where for per each Retribution member that gets eliminated, they have to take off the mask to reveal their true identity. And then they still can do that. So wreak havoc and everything else. Which that kind of leads me into TN Couponer's next question. Could they have tied the Hacker with Retribution? Yes, they could have. And here's how. The hacker always was seeking the truth. Think about that. The hacker was always seeking the truth in people and wanting to reveal the truth. Think about it. He wanted to reveal the truth as well. So they could have tied the hacker into Retribution by having Retribution setting up the cameras, and whatever the cameras can't find, having Retribution looking for it, and with being like a mobile camera. Now, that's a great storyline way I think about it. But now there could have been another way possible to go with this. But I think that would have been the best way to go, going with linking or tying the hacker with Retribution at some point. Now, I would like to state now, if anyone from WWE is watching this and thinks that they got this great idea that I came up with, I would like to state now, I want your ass to contact me and give me some copyright money. Not only for that idea, but for the name Retribution, because I'm the one that came up with it. And fuck you, WWE, for stealing my idea for the name and not paying me a dime. I'm the one that came up with the name Retribution, but your asses didn't want to give me a dime for that name. But before I get pissed off even more, let's go on to the next question. Asked by Patrick Porter, and all the next 3 questions are asked by Patrick Porter. Excuse me. Patrick's and it's Patrick Porter from Porter's Unboxing. What is your Patrick's first question is, what's your favorite WrestleMania ever? Now, right here I have my top 2, but my number 1 is WrestleMania 18, which I believed I said that WrestleMania 18 is my favorite before. Which actually I paid like very cheap for this. This DVD actually used unopened can go for $30 to $50, and used I actually seen this for like sealed brand new sealed for $200. Now when I got this from my local FYE called Coconut, it had a used sticker on it, but it was still sealed. Why? I do not know why they would. If it's still sealed, why they mark it as used, I do not know. Because if it's still sealed, it's used. It's not used. It's brand new. But once I tell you how much I paid for WrestleMania 18, as you can tell, it is WrestleMania 18, and as you can tell, both discs are there, and it is complete with a little DVD booklet, along with the match card slash poster, and there's the back there. And keep in mind, brand new, I seen it for $200, brand new sealed. I only paid $14.99 for it. $14.99, brand new, sealed. And I seen it go for $200. Let that sink in a little bit. And if you, that's one hell of savings. With tax, I paid a little bit under $20 for just WrestleMania 18. And I love the card because you have stars like, for example, matches like William Regal and RVD or William Regal versus RVD for the WWF Intercontinental Championship. Diamond Dallas Page versus Christian for the European Championship. Hardcore Championship match between Goldust and Maven. Kane versus Kurt Angle. Ric Flair versus Undertaker. Edge versus Booker T. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Scott Hall. Billy and Chuck versus the Hardy Boys versus versus APA versus the Dudley Boys. Rock versus Hollywood Hogan. Jazz and Lita versus Trish Stratus. And finally, Chris Jericho with Stephanie McMahon versus Triple H. Now, obviously, the best match of the night had to be Hogan versus Rock, which should have been the main event. I think everybody will agree the main event of WrestleMania 18 should have been Rock versus Hogan. But going to my number 2 favorite WrestleMania 17. I don't think anyone can go wrong with saying that their favorite is one of their favorites is WrestleMania 18 or even 18. It's just mine is switched from perhaps everybody else's. Everybody else's probably would be say WrestleMania 17 is their favorite, and maybe a close second would be WrestleMania 18. She had for the card wise, you had sorry for the wait here, but you had the WWF Intercontinental Championship match, Chris Jericho versus William Regal, 6-man tag match, APA, team of Ron Simmons and John Bradshaw Layfield, or Bradshaw at the time, and Taz versus Right to Censure. I can't think of the members there for Right to Censure, but then you got a WWE a triple threat match for the Hardcore Championship. You got Raven versus Big Show versus Kane, Test versus Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit, Ivory versus China for the Women's Championship match. Quite honestly, the worst match of the night. Then you got a street fight for with special guest referee Mick Foley between Shane McMahon and Mr. McMahon. This is, if you don't not remember, this is shortly after I believe the Sunday after Shane bought WCW. Then you got a TLC 2 match in between the Dudley Boys versus Edge and Christian versus the Hardy Boys. Then you got a gimmick battle royal with participants being Nikolai Volkov, Iron Sheik, Earthquake, Tugboat, Brother Love, Kamala, Charlotte Slaughter, Copley Gooker, One Man Gang, Doink the Clown, Kimchi, Repo Man, The Goon, Hillbilly Jim, Duke the Dumpster Josie, Freebird Michael Hayes, Jim Cornette, The Bushwhackers, and the Bushwhackers Luke and Butch. And I believe, if it doesn't, though I don't see it here, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, $1 Million Man comes out later after the, no, no, I was wrong. I believe Iron Sheik wins this completely. Then we have Triple H versus Undertaker. And finally, we have the main event, The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin for the WWF Championship. This is a great card from the way I look at it. And I think we're all we have to agree that WrestleMania 17 or 18 would have to be at least in your top 5, if not your top 2. But that's really all I have to say for that question. But going into Patrick's next question is, what is your favorite title? And I have it here for you. Now, the backstory here with it, I actually grew up with this title, so it has because I grew up with this title, it's going to be my favorite. It always will be, and it's the Attitude Era Championship. I'm not sure which way you was talking about. If you're talking about in titles or in general, which title is my favorite, or if you was talking about designs. So I went with designs. Now, if you're talking about in general, which title is my favorite? If you're talking about in general of all time, I would have to say the WWE Championship. And of course, I had to go with that design, like I said. But going to Petra Porter's last question, do you have any WWE fan art? Sadly, I do not. I wish I could get some, but a lot of them, a lot of money. And I don't want to have to pay a fortune just to get some WWE fan art. But and that's really all I have to say for that question too. But going into the last question for this edition of 6 Questions, asked by Alex from Pro Wrestling Reality, or from on YouTube. His channel name is Alex Legal Research. His question is, what are some of your favorite shows or movies during the Halloween season? And I'm not sure for show. I'm gonna give you movie and show. And for the show, I'm not sure if you will count this as a Halloween show, but it does count. If you look it up, it does look at as I look it up here. It does count as uh, a horror show. Uh, so and usually people would for Halloween shows they would usually watch like horror shows or films. Uh, and say really this. I don't know why, but it didn't show horror. But it is. It has. I seen. I did see horror. For it. Uh, but my favorite show to watch around Halloween, because it does kind of go within the horror bases, would have to be my favorite show of all time. And Patrick, this is go for Patrick. If you have seen it at this point, at far point, and you haven't looked at my last 6 questions, this is your question. Answer the question I already answered in the last 6 questions. I had to go with my favorite show of all time, the original Charmed, because this is Tekken kind of goes with horror slash mystery. I'm not sure if a lot of people would count that as a horror Halloween, like a Halloween type show. Uh, but I would. And for the Halloween movie, and for P6 it has Halloween in the name. And since I can't show you the clips from the movie, I'm gonna show you a picture so you know what I'm talking about. Uh, Disney Star has a Halloween movie series called Halloween Town. So I had to go with the Halloween movie series. There's a picture what I'm talking about right there. I'm sorry for the glare, but I would have to go for Halloween Town. Uh, for movie wise, that's basically all I have. I'm not sure if you would count like Danny Phantom as a Halloween show since it was Ghost, or with him the Ghost, but yeah, if you do, go ahead. There's or another one, but there we go. And that's the end of this edition of Six Questions. If you enjoyed it, give it a big old thumbs up. And if you want to be a hater, give it a big old thumbs down. I don't really care. Don't forget to leave those comments. Send me those questions. If you want to hit me up on Facebook, it's Donnie Langston. And also Twitter and Instagram at Donnie Langston 5. At Donnie Langston 5. See you guys next time.